Okay, so today I'm going to be going over David Walker's page and see if I can find something I can help him with. So David Walker as in Balance Athletics. So he's a one-on-one trainer, and I'm going to be taking a look at his content. Primarily, his content posted on the Chinese social media. We got WeChat and we got Xiaohongshu. We've got here, I'm doing a little OBS, so we're going to have some paper notes here that I can write if I want to. Hopefully we can share the screen and everything goes smoothly. I don't do this often, so let's see. Let's see if this should be okay right here. I'm gonna put my image right here a little bit to the right, and hopefully everything that we see on the left of me is it's good, like that, something like that. You know, don't know very well how to do it, but this is this is my attempt to do it. So here we go. Let's not do more technical stuff. Let's just start. So this is Balance Athletics here. Xiaohongshu, which is the same thing that is going on the WeChat page. I have the WeChat page right here, or we can see it on my notes if I go to this one. Oh, maybe that's a good way to look at it. Okay, maybe that's a good way to look at it. Why don't we look at it here? Because this is how people watch it, right? People will grab this and watch it like this. So what we've got here, it's already seen, for example, this video. This is a good intro video where we've got David and his... I'm originally from East London in the UK. Been living in... So we got his intro, his bio. It's a good, kind of very formal, typical video. You gotta have that, I guess. I don't think this is particularly good for social media, because what we want here is top of funnel stuff. We want to, this is good to have, okay? This is good to have, it's just not the primary source. So like if our intention is to get more clients, there's of course a limit with this, because you're a one-on-one trainer. How many more clients can you get? How many clients can you handle in a day? You probably can have 4 in a day, 5, I don't know. I don't think the limit is with the hours. It's also, you know, space in between. You gotta rest, unless you have staff working for you and they are coaching them. So I'm assuming here you're only a one-on-one trainer and you handle everything yourself. And you probably have some staff that help you with the location, cleaning the location, setting up things, and like scheduling. You obviously have some staff doing your social media because, well, you have some people filming you, of course. And I noticed already here, for example, there's no mic.
Exercise, and this is a great exercise for our back muscles and our bicep muscles. So you go up to the rings right now.
Yeah.
The rings are set at my chest.
Oh, there is some mic.
This is
Yeah.
the easily most accessible height for beginners.
Yeah.
From here, we don't want to be too far standing up, okay? Because now
this type of video, I think, it's the type of video that someone like David should focus on, because it is exactly what the business is about, which is about coaching and stuff. All right. So this is the primarily top of funnel video that people should get some benefit from. So if I was gonna help you do videos, I would focus on this type of content. I'll just call it educational, primarily educational content.
the exercise isn't an exercise, it's far too easy for most people. Instead, put your feet forward. This changes the leverage of...
Now there's, of course, there's ways, there's levels of how you can do this much better. And you can, for example, introduce some, like a lot of cats in here. But as far as the content and what you're doing, what you're showing here, I think is really good. I think the less team that you have, the more you can go into things like non-edits. And non-edits on social are live streams. So live streams are non-edits because you're not editing. You're just like doing what I'm doing right now, which is recording and sending it up. This is a low effort edit. I believe it's probably scripted. You know what you're gonna say because you probably taught it before, and so you're following some steps. But it's a non-edit. As in the cases like it's just like one continuous shot, and it goes through the exercise, and that's okay. Is this video kind of effective? This video is kind of effective for the people who are already in the funnel, so to speak. This is kind of effective for the people who are already interested and already want to follow you. It's very technique based, so this video fails in the top of funnel because it's not giving you the promise that the people are looking for, let's say. You know, you're not convincing people that they need to exercise or that they need to exercise with you. You're just telling them how to do something better. So I would say it's middle or bottom of the funnel in the sense that it's not for new viewers, or it's not for people who are not interested in fitness and stuff. It's for already a dedicated audience, right? I would give this video 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 in the type of content that you should be focusing on. So I think this is on the right target. This is how to get to your studio, to your gym, from the Hongshan station. It's okay. We've got here, this is the type of content also that I would say is very necessary for you to do right now, because you're building your personal brand, so you're putting your face out there and you're trying to convince people in here. This is kind of like a CTA. You trying to get people through Calendly to go and book an audit. I know this. I saw this, for example. This is you going through trying to build a community of working outdoors. I think this is a fantastic channel that you should devote resources to, because this is building a community outside of your current gym. Ideally is free because it's outside. People will not like to pay for something that is calisthenics and outside. Probably later on, yes. But if you do a free, again, that's the top of funnel. This is me giving business advice rather than social media content advice. As far as social media content advice here, the video is very well done. I like the in and outs. I don't like too much text to read, but I get it that you're trying to do something here bilingual. Everything that you're doing here is already bilingual. Based on your captions, I see that you're using CapCut Professional with the bilingual option of the auto captions, so that's good. Probably somebody's helping you here with the text or something like that. If you're doing everything yourself, congratulations, man. You're doing a really fantastic job. I don't love the music. That would be my first note in here. Why music? Why not music? Yes and no. I always side on the side of no for music, because you're not selling here entertainment. You're selling education, which is fitness and culture. Body, being comfortable with your body. I would side on the thing of like, I'm not gonna distract you, I'm only gonna help you. You need help with your fitness, let me help you. So if you're coming like that, if you're presenting yourself like that, then I get it. It's a short video. People want it, maybe sound here, sound there. Sound effects have impact because they help the video stick more or land more. Like let's say for example you're showing an injury and you put the typical sound of like a bones breaking, which is really actually celery just like being cracked. If you put that, it enhances the video because it gives a much more like dedicated, it's enhancing the flavor of the video, it's adding salt. However, if we're just putting music for the sake of putting music right there and there's no meaning at all for this music other than let's fill in some silence, I think you're lowering your credibility as a coach. But like I'm not important enough for you to pay attention to my voice, therefore I gotta distract you with music. Look, I'm already distracted with the things that you're showing me right here with the thing. I either hear some like I don't know, ambient noise or sound effects that accompany this, or sound effects that go with the text, like bling, bling, like community, strength, power. That would work with me. So I'm not a big fan of music for educational videos. I would say that this niche is educational. And you're not selling vibes here, you're selling education. All right, move on to the next posting here. Visit our new website. Why? Why should I visit your new website? There's nothing in it for the viewer. There's nothing in it for me here. Announcement, website launch. No. Again, this is a company, I'm not saying that your company. This is, let's say, Samsung wanting you to care about their birthday. Why? Why should I? I don't care that you're launching a website. No. It should be something like your face saying like, hey guys, quick tip for today, do push-ups like pseudo push-ups and do Y push-ups for blah, blah, blah. And by the way, I'm compiling all of this information on my new website, and this is our URL. You can visit our new website right here. Okay, so give something first, then do an ask later, right? So why? Give me a why instead of a CTA. Not a CTA like, why do I need to go to your website? I don't need to, okay? Unless you're giving me something. The social media relationship is very one-sided. It's all about the viewer. It's all about what you're giving them. And in this case, you're giving nothing. You're just telling them, go visit my website. There's no reason for you to do it, but just go check it out. As instead, if you're doing like offer some knowledge, okay? Like you do here, for example, if you summarize the content of this video into 2-3 steps, like do the push-ups like this, don't do the push-ups like this because you're gonna hurt your shoulder. Oops. And do push-ups like this, don't do push-ups like this because it's gonna hurt your shoulders. Fall again. And by the way, if you guys want to know more tips, or if you want to book a call with me, if you want to visit our website, here's our website. Offer some, then CTA. Okay? CTA, call to action, right? Go to our website. Subscribe for more. Leave a comment. Any kind of thing that you want the audience to do. Book a call with us. Come for a free trainer. Join our free calisthenics Sundays. Every CTA, if you do it after, or like the CTA about the meeting, doesn't have to be, because right there what you're doing is like, hey guys, I'm starting a community, a free community. We can exercise together outside, do some calisthenics. We're gonna do some pull-ups. We're gonna do some some pull-up variations. I'm gonna teach you how to do pull-ups, and you just do one class about pull-ups. everything from like dead hanging all the way to like a muscle up, right? And you do show the progressions and stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. I would join that personally, all right? So if you offer a weekly offline training and you offer it for 10 to 20 people, all right? Go to a park where ideally not so far from your location, which you already are doing. I don't know how often you do that. Offer it for free. Here's key. Offer it for free. When you do that, I can give you a very, very cool, because I have organized offline events. I have done improv workshops where I get a lot of people together. I've had workshops where I had 30 people plus coming into my workshops and playing improv games. Now, improv is not fitness, but I had to convince people to travel to a location, to exercise, to play some games that they were not comfortable with, do something that they were not comfortable with, speak a language that we're not comfortable with because most people were Chinese. Acting is not comfortable for most people. Exercising is effort, therefore not comfortable for more people. The only comfortable thing is to sit down and eat, right? So getting people to do something they're not comfortable with, it's even if they know that it's good for them, it doesn't matter. It's hard. So if you make it easy for them, offline and simple, because if you do like a full specialized high level calisthenics training for a top of funnel, you're not gonna get much people. Okay, so depends what strategy do you want. Perhaps you want a strategy where you only want professional athletes training with you. Then all of what I'm saying, it doesn't matter that much. But if you get those common people and you get to ask him in that meeting, like, hey, what are your troubles? What are you traveling with? They're perhaps gonna say, you know, their problems. They're perhaps gonna say, I can't go to sleep at 10 p.m. like I should. I can't like turn off the phone and like get the rest that I need so that I can go and do the proper workout the next day. They're probably gonna say stuff like that. I can't stop myself from eating too much hot pot and like noodles, or I can't, the common problems that most people have with fitness. Anyway, offer some tips on hearing. I can help you prepare a activity kind of routine of what you do, like the warm up, the listening to them. All right, so 10, 10, 10, 20 for the exercise, or 20 or 30 for the exercise and stuff like that. But this is like the intro, the middle, and the outro. This is gonna be key because if you get this, you're listening to whoever is your leads, right? If you want to build this community from outside. This also, you can post it, because if you are having an activity that is offline, 100%, for example, you can get someone to come and film for you, quite possibly for free, all right? And I wouldn't do that for free for you, I would prepare the activity for you. I would instruct someone for you to how to do this, what actually to film in that activity, and how you can post that and make a cool video out of your activity. You should not try to do it yourself because you're running the activity. Anyway, let's continue here. Again, another post here, 15 days ago, 14 days. These are different websites. These are different posts. Announcement, website launch. Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. I'm being crude here and mean because I want to get like the information out of what I'm seeing here of what the audit is. Too much text. I'm not gonna read this. Too much text. We're speaking physically here. We're speaking about fitness. We can't stop and read. No, because this is your top of funnel content. Whatever goes on Xiaohongshu or WeChat is your top of funnel content. You don't want too much text. Let me stop and read because I actually do care about fitness. See what I did there? I'm in the middle or bottom of the funnel because I actually do care about fitness. But people scrolling through that, they're not gonna stop and read. Easy into the first weeks of training. See, instead of, depends on how much. All content is better than non-content, right? All content is better than non-content. But what you have here is like, if you're doing all of this yourself and you go into ChatGPT and say like, give me 4 tips for telling my audience on how to exercise, and you're copying and pasting this and put it in on a background with some texture, then you're doing fine because you're doing it all yourself. You're doing fantastic. Now, if you want to improve this, is you actually take this and you give 1 tip at a time to the camera. Tip number 1, ease into the first weeks of training. You can do very basics with moderate to hard effort and get good results. It is important not to go too aggressive, as it won't help you get anywhere faster. I would say this is some ChatGPT stuff, but like, choose 5 to 6 total exercises to do each day. Ideally, you would choose 2 to 4 compound exercise movements to go build out your good workout program. Keep the same number of exercises per workout. Cool. Like, I agree with all this advice. I like this advice. I want this advice. Give it to me in a way that I want to consume it. So I don't want to consume this advice like this. I want to consume it in a way that is easy for me to consume. And this is like probably the best tip that I can give you. Your viewers are babies, okay? Viewers are babies. What that means is that they're hypnotized, okay? These are people who worked a hard day and their brain is already fried and they're going through scrolling, and what they see a post, they don't have time to stop and read and assess. No, they want an impactful hook in a way to be captivated and like consume, ingest information in the most simple way. And then in this kind of post in here, you've got you're doing some exercise at the beginning, okay? There's some shoulder press, overhead shoulder press, right? I hope I got it right. And you should lead with that. The tips should be like that. Ease into the exercise, all right? You don't want to go crazy on the thing. So like, as you're doing this, you can speak with content. I have some examples about this on my own personal channel. When I do videos, I try to, the key here is the script. Because if you have a script, and the script can be already what you have here, then you gotta go over the script and see what words or phrases from this script can you turn into actions that you're doing on the video. Now, the best example of this in the fitness world, in my view, one of the good examples of this, okay? I love way too many fitness influencers to just say one, but knees over toes guys does this fantastically, phenomenally. And that's why he went super mega viral, because his content strategy is just phenomenal. It's not just his good advice, or it also is revolutionary advice, perhaps, because most people say otherwise. What do we got here? Our clients are at the heart of what we do. Thank you for being a part of this journey. What our clients say about great gymnast, David Taylor, too fast. Okay. You're passing through your, okay, so a post like this, I never want to see you do another post like this ever again. These are testimonials, right? And you got some music to work with it, right? What I would rather see on the testimonials, right? We're gonna go here and see testimonials. So I gotta put all this together in another page at the end for the summary that I'm gonna give you. But what I'm seeing here with these testimonials that I don't like is that you're just passing, scrolling through them. You're making me stop at them to read them. Not bad, but if I want to do that, I can go to the website and do it. Okay? I don't care if these are fake or real. All I care about is that I care how do I consume them in a way that is enjoyable to me. So, what you do, it's a very simple video like this one. Like that. You have possibly what you can do is have your face more so at the corner of the screen, and you've got the text here. You're holding the phone here, but on the screen you're gonna put this. Where it is? There you go. On the screen you're gonna put just the rectangle with the thing and the name on it, and you're gonna read it with your own words. And then you're gonna do a little comment at the end, like, "Thank you, Trevor. Right back at you, bro. Great energy. Trevor is one of my newest clients, or one of my newest patients." What is it called? I forget the word, but like trainee? And then you're gonna say something about them that makes the relationship a little bit more real. Lena just came in 2 weeks ago, and she has the best energy whatsoever. Karina is something amazing. I love to work with Karina because she's actually a dancer, which is my own background, and like we get a lot in common. Blah blah blah. So this is how I want to see you do testimonials, more personal. So everything again goes back to like we want to do a more personal channel for you, a more personal brand, because you're doing one-on-one. That's what you do. Your stuff is very personalized. Website launch. Nobody cares, man. I want to see some comments in here, but nobody cares. You are commenting on that yourself. Forward it. Stay tuned for lunch. Nobody cares about this unless you give them a reason to care. No need to post on this. From a dancer to fitness coach, from martial arts. This is cool. This is cool because you're showing your background. To studio owner. This is great. I don't love the logo at the back, at the end. That's a personal thing. I've done way too many videos on social media that I've liked, and I've seen way too many videos from brands and businesses that I've liked, and I can tell you all of the best of them never have their logo at the end. Because if I want to know who this is, I can already see the logo right here. I can already see the name right here. In every platform, it's the same. So let me go here and do the job myself. Let me see the logo. Let me read the bio. Let me read the name. Don't show it to me and like shove it in my face at the end of every video, like a CTA or a way to close the video. I don't think it's a good idea. No, open with your face, close with your face, open with the value, and with the value, especially when you're doing something like here, unless it's a very specific CTA, like hey, yo, by the way, we're meeting this week at the park at 2 p.m. I realize when I give advice, I'm proclaiming too much. I'm just saying like, do this. This is wrong. I know better. I don't mean it that way. I know it comes off that way, perhaps. I want to improve the way that I speak in that way. It's just the way that I speak. Again, all content is better than no content, and I think you're doing a great job in here. For example, I'm not going to bother you and show you the videos that I've done, because what I care about is like looking at your videos first, telling you what you can do better, and then if you want, I can show you my portfolio. Then if you want, I can walk you through my best videos, the best videos that I've done for other companies. And because anybody can show you that they've done videos. It doesn't mean anything. All I want to show you is like what you're doing right now what's good about it, what can we do better. Video wise, for example, here, I don't love the angle that you're using. I don't know if your tripod is too short or somehow you didn't get a better shot in here. We got way too much floor here that is giving us not information. And there are better ways to show this type of exercise and stuff. Or perhaps you were shooting on horizontal and this is what you get after. In any case, the video resolution here, the video framing here could be a little bit better, especially because you are here indicating the type of exercise, right? You're going through different exercise. This kind of content I love. Look at that. Look at that. Ambient noise. No distraction. No music. I applaud you for that. Okay? Incline DBA players. Okay, cool. No issue whatsoever with this post. It's all information. If you want to include a CTA here, it could be something like, hey, which ones of these have you done today? Right? No need to improve this. You just need more of this type of content. Showing exercises. So showing exercises is great. And if what we can do with this is if you prepare a good shooting schedule where you're shooting the exercises, then you are, for example, you have in the shooting schedule, what you've got is this. So a good shooting strategy, a good content strategy, let's begin planning right now for you. So good content strategy, which is what you don't have at the moment, strategy. You have good content, but you don't have a good strategy. It goes through a schedule of filming, right? It's going to decide on formats, okay? Deciding these two things, formats, perhaps formats first and then scheduling later, is gonna make whatever you do to make it so that you can leverage twice as more, 3 times as more, 10 times as more. Because now when you're shooting exercises, the next thing you're gonna shoot, for example, is what is this for? Why? What is it doing to my body, right? So if we take exercises, right, and then we shoot the why and how, right? We prepare a content strategy that is going to be like which exercises, what are we going to say for the why and how, what are the, what is it strengthening, what is the pain points that we're driving. When this hurts, you need to strengthen this. When this injury happens, you need to strengthen this. Now we can connect those, right? And this is what AI is really good at implementing. And this is why it's really good to have something like AI as a backlog. Because you have all of this, now you're shooting a lot less and you're just connecting the dots a little bit more. So if we build a content strategy together, what we would build together is something like formats and scheduling, so that when we shoot not for one video, we shoot for 10. We're shooting for the videos like this, and then we're shooting for the videos that only talk about the pull-over exercise. Why pull-over exercise, right? Now we have, for example, we have compilations. That could be a format, compilations. Individuals. These are formats, right? These are why, pain, here, all right? For example, this could be another format. Why do people complain about neck pain? All right, neck pain comes from doing this movement too much, right? Or doing this movement too much. And the exercises that we gotta do for that, guess what? We already recorded them on the individuals. We don't have to record the individual exercise again. we can just utilize that and use it for here. But now we are recording why the pain in the neck. So what we are doing here is we're not shifting, we're just building blocks that later we can connect like Legos. Let's keep going here through your post. We have BB deadlift here. So this is a much better frame of the video. I like the windows shooting against the light, I like that. Now, when it comes to when it comes to putting music and trending audios and videos, I would say I would side on the side of no, but that's nothing to do with format or schedule. That has to do with personal brand and what you decide at once. Are you gonna be, what kind of content are you gonna do? What kind of creator do you want to be? And do you want to make your brand a more educational or more trendy based? I would say training audios are really good for reaching new audience at the beginning. So perhaps it's good for the first year of the strategy to include them. As you go on, you can leverage more of your own personal brand, not use as many of them. Don't put in their music that you like, unless you're singing it, unless you're listening to it while you're doing the exercise, right? Unless you're doing like a street interview or an interview with your clients, they're saying like, hey, what music makes you lift more? And now it becomes part of the content, right? But not just as a thing. Tip of the day for my fellow lovers, gym lovers: one bad meal won't ruin your consistency, it always wins. I love this. I don't okay, I like that we're saying here bad meal, but yet we're seeing something more healthy. I like that contrast, to be honest, because it's too easy to put a McDonald's hamburger in here. I like the type of message. Let's see the music in here. As usual, I don't like it. Again, I would prefer another personal brand style video, because you're putting your face in here. You're selling who you are because you're a one-on-one coach. So it's like, quick tip, guys, or just a quick reminder, guys. Just a quick reminder to my followers and gym lovers: one bad meal a day won't ruin your gains, or something like that. Whatever. It sounded like, all right. Something like that guy. Who's that guy? If something stands between you and your success, move it. Never deny it. Okay. How to actually stick to a gym routine. Choose 2 to 3 days. I like this. This is more simple. We got bigger text in here. I would assume somebody's helping you with this content, or that you don't have a lot of time for content, so you are kind of building an innate automation or something like that. I see this as a very ChatGPT made with the target and the thing. I'm not just trying to guess what you're doing. I'm trying to guess what your strategy is and why would you stick to it or not. I would say whatever you're doing right now, it's clearly like it's not working so much because you're not killing it on Xiaohongshu, or you're not necessarily killing it. And I don't say that to let me go here, Xiaohongshu. I don't say that to be mean or anything. I just say to be realistic. Let's see here what we got. Balanced athletics. Cool, we found you really quickly. Yeah, we got 40 followers. It's a very young account, and 700 likes. It's not a huge account. And I just want to see the engagement of the post as opposed to what we see on WeChat and if it's any different. And what I'm seeing right here is that the engagement is just as low as WeChat, perhaps a little bit more in here. And okay, we got some more engagement on this post for some reason. Maybe it's more funny because it's more trendy based. Dumbledore versus Dumbledore. The homies polyjuicing. Damn, okay, so this is a funny meme, but it's not very on branding, to be honest, with the whole thing. I'm nothing against it. I'm just saying it's not on brand. I would say, well, there's possible formats, ideas that I can give you that I know that are working on other social media accounts like Instagram and stuff. Now, of course, your goal here is to go to a more direct audience, which you will find on Xiaohongshu and Douyin, which is the local people. So, yeah, let's stick to that thing. I see a lot of posts here where it's just text, bro. Yeah, it's just text, and it's all content is better than all content, but I gotta see some muscle. I gotta see some training in here. I gotta see some effort. I gotta see some, yeah. So this is everything. Like, this is better, and this is awesome. You're showing people outside in the stuff. This is the type of content that I want it to go viral. How can we make this go viral? There's different ways. This, for example, if this was a levels video, it would perform a much better. If you apply the levels concept, now levels is when you're familiar with progressive overload. Well, just apply that to a video, and you know what I'm talking about. Levels will make this better. Also, the framing of this video, if it was formatted correctly for a levels video, again, it will perform so much better. If it was edited in a way for retention, it would perform so much better. So a type of video like this, it's a good format that I would definitely double down on, even if you're getting low engagement, because this is what you're about. You're about exercising. You're about like bringing people together to go outside and do exercise, empowering others, doing calisthenics, and then also going to the gym for a more detailed one-on-one orientation. This is the top of funnel. This is the thing you're gonna attract more people with, I believe. Let's see every post, or it has your face on it. Let's see how far we can go back. Okay, you've been posting for a while, my dude. Okay, we found the beginning. At the beginning is starting strong in here. I'm not a big fan of the edits like that, but whatever. It's not hurting. I don't think it's hurting. This is better than those text videos. Or if you want, just compile those text posts with stuff like this, just like one message on each line. You can get creative that when you shoot it, for example, you're shooting it here and you're leaving a lot of space in here, right? Well, you can utilize a space for giving those tips that you were giving before, as in like step 1, choose 2 to 3 exercises every time. Step 2, don't go too hard on the first time, blah, blah, blah. So keeping your tips with the video, now you're giving value and you're talking and you're walking the talk, right? Great framing, loving it. Okay, good use here of like, we got POV shots, we got close-ups, we got the preparation, how to do a deadlift, and then we got the proper technique, showing the side, showing the front. Fantastic content. Do more. do more. This is like a more cinematic close-up thing. I would say, again, this would be here a little bit with the personal branding. What do you want? You want music in your videos? I advise against music 90% of the time. Day in the life, we got some POV shots. Arriving, getting dressed, doing some tea braces. Pretty cool. Some pretty good. So in here, I don't hate the music in here because you're showing a lot of stuff. You're showing a story in here. So a voiceover would be more powerful, but the music is just as powerful. I would say the music is just as powerful here. Great job, great job. I see your first posts were better. Maybe you had somebody helping you there more with your stuff. I think this type of format, for example, if you do this type of format repeatedly 2-3 times a week, or here's everything I did on a week for my exercise, and you go through your workout routines. I did 3 sets of bench press on the first day, and blah blah. Why you're doing those things, narrating it. Spartan race in here, or strongman. I don't know which one it is. Yeah, the Spartan race. This is great. We got the ambience right here. See, this post has more engagement here. We got 12 likes. This is not just because you're carrying a 50 kg stone. This is because it's a way more pleasing to watch. And the no music makes it real, which is what you're selling. You're selling real stuff. Again, all I'm saying with the music and stuff is just how to make things more consistent, more cohesive, more easy to align. And it sounds like I have a lot of things against music, and I do. This would perform better without music, for example. See, what music does a lot of the times, if it's in a movie, it helps you feel what other people are feeling. But in many ways, in that case, the movie is telling you how you should feel. The problem with the movie is that you've been investing on the movie for half an hour, 20 minutes already, maybe 40 minutes. Now they're giving you some music. Now they're telling you like, hey, be prepared. Something's gonna happen here. The thing with social media, you don't have that time, especially on short form content. You don't have that time to get, to tell me how I should feel about this. So if you're giving me some context, which is here, nature, Spartan, throwing a dagger into a target, launch that fucker. I want to be on that moment. How can I be on that moment with you? Give me that moment as raw as it is, which means no music. My opinion on it. Yeah. You can call it a coincidence, but you can see how the one post that had most engagement out of all of this is the one with the rock, and that one had no music. And all of these have lower engagement. They're all about the Spartan race. I would say this image is a lot more striking than the one with the rock. Somehow it has less engagement. So what I'm saying about the music is not complete bullshit. Don't disregard it. Take it for what it is my advice, especially when it comes to fitness content or, something like that. It is not particularly enhancing when you're doing a short form content based on fitness. I wish I could explain it better on why it is and how it is. It's just me analyzing this over the course of like watching too much content, working and not working, what music does on it, what music doesn't do on it. A lot of the times music helps. In a lot of the videos and the posts that I've seen from this account, music does not help.
600s into 200s intervals.
Now you're gonna say, well, why this post didn't get enough engagement if it has no music, if it's just me talking? Doesn't matter. This, as low engagement as it is, it might help the viewer connect more with you. So we're not always going for more engagement, or sometimes we're going for more connection. I believe this is key, especially because you're not after views, you're not after like a really high count of views, you're more after clients. And those clients are, fewer and far between, because they're gonna be people who can afford your services, number one, who are actually going to sit and go through. Like if you want people to pay 500, or I don't know how much you're charging one-on-one, but you're not gonna want the person that needs to be distracted by music to watch your videos. You're gonna want the people who are like middle, top of funnel, right? So they're gonna need more content like this, more raw, more experience. Give me what you are going through.
Kind of went okay today. It was.
That's also why the text doesn't work, by the way. The post with just text on it. It's like, I can't imagine it. It's good reminders, but it's not.
Anything. That's just the way that I like to run. I don't understand people who it's just how to pace yourself properly. But then just using a phone in your hand isn't ideal, especially if you're not wearing any kind of the training I've been doing up till now. Other than that, just another day.
Okay, so that's it for my review of the content here. I would like to go over my notes to see if there's any helpful here. Content strategy is something that I would love to work with you and do. Basically going through what kind of formats you would like to do, seeing some examples of what other people are doing on Instagram and how they work. You've probably seen, some viral stuff like the guy who puts his water, his stays on the ice and stuff like that is a good hook and stuff like that. And you probably want to try stuff like that. All good to repeat formats like that and actually bring them on to what your personal brand is. Deciding on what your personal brand is, what you want to share as a type of like business, who are you and what you want to teach to people, but then making it in a way that is easy for them to consume, because you want them to consume your content and actually get some CTA out of it. So if we were gonna do something like a schedule, you would do something like exercises, why and how these exercises, how to do them, what not to do about them, what are the variations that you should do, what things you should look out for to avoid injury and stuff like that. What is this particularly strengthening? What are the types of pains that I can relieve with this exercise? Compilations of exercises, individual exercises, and explaining whys of the exercises. I think these three are the key to later create out of one video multiple posts, as opposed to just like writing text posts with no stuff. Also, while you're doing this, you can create stills and videos. Don't forget about stills, because you are you're doing a lot of posts where it's text, just text, right? I would rather you do stills with some text, and the stills is just you exercising, is you eating, is you recovering, is you going to bed on time, it's you arriving, day after day after day on your training. So what you want to show in there. All right, so that is it. Let me see if I have any more notes that I took and if they could be of help. Yeah, okay. So non-edits live stream is something that I would add to your repertoire, because you're a coach. And maybe you can do that like once a week. I would advise you on how to do and what to do about that. What not to do, perhaps. Don't put music on them. So non-edits, giving them more real, more raw stuff. On a live stream, I would, just advise you to like have some stuff prepared to fall back into if you're not someone who is used to just ramping on and just like talking nonstop like I am. I'm used to like talking nonstop and like I don't even know what I'm saying. I just free flow and like I don't even know if I'm saying something useful or not, but I can go on forever if I want to. Some people cannot do that. I think if you can talk forever and you can talk forever about different exercises and different like pain points that people have and stuff like that, it's super valuable. So I think live stream for you will be super valuable, especially if you have that ability to just keep yapping. People will like it. Music, no, just avoid the music for now. Why? Why am I watching this? So like when you're creating a post, you should kind of have a vision of like, why is this good for your viewer? And then offer something for the viewer. So and then put the CTA at the top. There, it makes no sense for you to like promote your website if there's nothing for them to go in there. Why am I going to your website? If I go to the Huberman Lab podcast, Huberman Lab website, I can research, I can download things, I get materials there. If I go to Movement with David, I can download free PDFs and tell me how to stretch. So get to think of like freebies that you have on your landing page. They call that magnet, right? Like a lead magnet. If you have a lead magnet that once you go to a website, you land like, oh, I can download this for free. This guy is giving me some value now. I'll subscribe to him, something like that. Okay. Create a magnet. A magnet would be good for you to have. Okay. Just prepare something free for the people. Weekly offline. If you do a weekly offline event, I don't know how much time you have for that, but if you do a weekly offline event and you do it consistently, and you can do it in different parts of the city, the problem that I see with your business is, of course, because it's location bound and because it's person to person bound, it just makes a lot of difficulties on like how to get more people to go into your space. Now you're working within a radius of, I don't know, 5 to 10 kilometers there. And in that space of 5 to 10 kilometers, there's so many gyms. People have so much choice. Why would they choose you? Well, they would choose you because you're you and that's cool. And you're a foreigner and you've been trained outside and you have a lot of experience of movement. You're a dancer. You have a really good background and stuff. But you're targeting people who can pay 500 CNI an hour. So within this price range, I don't know if that's your price range, how many leads, how many potential customers do you have in these radius? Because they got to go to a location, remember. As opposed to if you were to go to their location, now all of a sudden the pool of people becomes much bigger. So I don't know if you want to think about that. I don't know if you actually do that already, but I would say on a one-to-one, that would be, I think that you should focus on that. Again, I'm just doing whatever. Another thing here, another summary thing important is that viewers are babies and they're distracted, and you need to create stuff that is easy for them to consume as if they were babies. Babies need to suck from a bottle. They can't like chew and like do something complicated. You cannot give them nuts. You gotta give them a puree, right? Something that is already processed and something easy to consume. That's why formatting is very key. How you frame yourself in your videos is very key. Where you put the subtitles is very key. All of this stuff is key because it makes it easier for the viewer to engage with the content. That is why, again, you don't want music on your videos because it's distracting in a way that, it doesn't really help the baby consume it. It might make it more appealing for a little bit of a second, but because it's not enhancing or enriching the content enough, I think it's not helping. I know this information sounds a little bit contradictory to each other, but stay with me here. better scripts would align words with actions much better. So whatever you're saying with whatever you're doing visually, if you can combine those. A good example of this is Knees Over Toes guys, or Movement with David. That guy's fucking phenomenal. When you're doing something like testimonials, putting your face and reading something like that will be so cool. This is something like Ryan Trahan does, for example. Showing exercises is great. Okay, showing exercises is great. Showing and talking is better. So that is my review for the content that you're doing. I hope some of that was helpful, and I'm gonna go meet you now. And so I don't know if I can show you this video already. I don't know if it will be uploaded on time, but there you go. Best of luck. I don't know how much I can help you with this, because your business is very perhaps more niched and more, for some select people. I perhaps want to try to help brands that can have bigger teams, because you have like a very small team, but I'm very happy if I can be of some service to you. Best of luck to you, David. You're phenomenal. Keep doing what you're doing.